From a driver's close call with a lightning strike to the one-night-only reunion of an iconic pop group, Fox 5 anchor Courtney Bryant joins us now with stories from across America. Courtney?
Hey, Tom. We'll start with a rather sad story today out of a popular theme park. A tragic story in Pennsylvania. A 9-year-old girl drowned in a wave pool at Hershey Park. It's now under investigation. Hershey Park says it is cooperating with authorities. And legal experts say the park could be liable depending on the circumstances. This was the first death at Hershey Park in almost 50 years. A weather alert in southeast Texas. A driver caught the moment that lightning struck his vehicle. Video shows heavy rain drenching the highway between Wharton and El Campo. And moments later, a bolt of lightning struck the hood of the truck. It momentarily left the driver stunned with his ears ringing. The 2nd Street Tunnel in downtown Los Angeles is once again covered in graffiti less than 24 hours after city crews cleaned it up. On Sunday, words, symbols, and characters blanketed the roughly quarter-mile-long tunnel, while some empty spray cans also littered the curb. Well, hold on to your cowboy hats because Destiny's Child is back, at least for one night only in Las Vegas. Beyonce brought out Michelle Williams and Kelly Rowland for the grand finale of her Cowboy Carter tour on Saturday. The iconic trio reuniting on stage for the first time in years, performing a medley of their greatest hits, including Lose My Breath. So it's bad enough that I'm missing the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere in Vegas, and now
you're missing Destiny's Child. They looked
goodness
awesome, by the way, together. It's like old times.
Wish I could have been there.
Courtney, thanks.
Yeah. From a bear working to keep cool in this heat wave to an apparent alien caught on a Ring camera. Fox 5 anchor Courtney Bryant joins us now with what's making headlines across America today, Courtney.
Yeah, hey, Christine. We'll start out in Washington State, where a fire is making its way towards a national park. Work continues on the Bear Gulch fire in Mason County, Washington. It's burned more than 1,000 acres and is only 10% contained. The fire is backing towards the staircase area of Olympic National Park. The recent growth is due to burning trees and grass on slopes rolling downhill, then burning in heavily forested areas. Officials have no evacuation orders in place right now. We're all trying to find ways to beat the heat this summer, and some are a little more creative than others. This is Bulan at the Oakland Zoo in California. She's a bear, and she's using a plastic lid on her head, just like a human would with a hat. Pretty clever. Stays up pretty well. The only thing is it doesn't really offer that much shade, but you know, it all helps. Anything helps. Well, take a look at this. This is from a Ring camera in Compton. The homeowner here claims they saw an alien walking by. I mean, if it's not an alien, what is that? Yeah, kind of strange. The video posted by Jessica Ortiz has more than 1 million views on her Instagram account. She swears it was not edited or staged in any way, but social media nevertheless having a lot of fun with this one. A lot of people are skeptics, and they've offered a variety of explanations. I'd like to hear some of those.
Yeah, really. Ooh,
maybe the neighbor.
creepy.
I don't know. All right, a Tampa area restaurant has a regular, but he prefers the retention pond to a table. He's a 5-foot-long alligator named Mr. Pickles. The restaurant manager says he was a baby when he got there, barely 2.5 feet long. Staff thought he'd find his way out, but Mr. Pickles just made himself right at home. Mr. Pickles has evaded trappers trying to move him to a nearby lake several times. He doesn't want to leave. Staff say he seems to be loving life with an ecosystem of fish, frogs, and turtles living right there alongside him. I bet he gets some really yummy scraps from that restaurant.
I don't think I'm messing with Mr. Pickles.
No.
I mean, he's not bothering me. I'm not bothering him.
Not going for a swim with
No,
Mr. Pickles?
thank you. Nope. You can stay right in that pond. Thanks, Courtney. A unique bandit is arrested in California. A seagull snatches food right out of someone's hand, and a doorbell camera video is going viral and sparking debate online. Fox 5 anchor Courtney Bryant joins us now with what's making headlines and what people are talking about across America.
There's always something to talk about,
Right.
Christine, but we'll start with this. Out in Santa Monica, some boaters caught a yacht crashing into a seawall at a marina. Take a look. Turns out this was no mistake. The boater did it on purpose. Apparently, the massive boat was having mechanical failure, which affected the ability to control it. The skipper made a quick decision to hit the seawall to prevent them from hitting other boats or injuring people on the shore. The boat did have a good bit of damage. We're told there were no injuries. A man being dubbed the butt-sniffing bandit has been arrested in California. You heard that right. Police arrested 38-year-old Khalees Crowder after they say he was caught on camera sniffing a woman's backside at a Nordstrom Rack store earlier this month. Wow.
I need a warning before this.
I know, probably. Well, police say Crowder is a registered sex offender with a documented history of similar arrests for lewd acts dating back to 2021. What a moment. The woman in this video set up her camera because she knew the seagulls in the area were aggressive, but she was still surprised when one violently snatched her lunch. You can see her get up to run after the sandwich thief. I don't know why. I mean, would you still eat the sandwich after that?
And she's not going to catch that seagull.
No, it's gone. Let's take a look here. Surveillance video captured what a homeowner believed was something extraterrestrial. A Compton resident believed her Ring camera caught an alien visitor walking past her door. Video shows the figure walk past the driveway and leave through a back gate. I want to get back, though, to the butt-sniffing bandit.
You do?
I mean,
I don't.
I'm just glad he was caught. I mean, that kind of behavior cannot be tolerated.
No way. I mean, I just don't. I don't know what would possess someone to want to
is a good word.
do that. Yeah. I mean,
my goodness.
That's a first.
It is.
We've talked about a lot of wacky stories in our careers. That's a first.
I mean, yeah. Glad he was caught. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Courtney, thanks so much. Paula Deen is closed down a Savannah staple. A sanitation worker busts a move during the workday, and Chuck E. Cheese himself gets arrested during a birthday party. Fox 5 anchor Courtney Bryant joins us now with stories from across America today.
Yeah, hey, Christine. We'll start with a scary moment out of a shopping mall in Fairfax County, Virginia. Take a look. It shows a toddler being abducted by a stranger. The little girl had wandered out of a play area while her father wasn't looking. The stranger then walked up, picked her up, and calmly walked away. Now, thankfully, the stranger walked past a store where the mother was shopping. She saw him, confronted him, and he ran off. Authorities caught the man later that day driving a stolen car. He now faces several charges. A longtime staple in Savannah has closed its doors. Paula Deen's The Lady and Sons is now closed down. Deen ran the restaurant with her two sons for nearly 3 decades, and the restaurant helped launch Deen's cooking show on the Food Network as well. No reason was given for the abrupt closure, but a sign on the door reads, quote, "It is with heavy hearts and tremendous gratitude that we announce we have retired and closed." And take a look at this. A sanitation worker in Garden City proving every job is only as fun as you make it. Take a look at him. Busted a move between houses while out on his route. The video caught on doorbell Ring camera. Just having a good old time. Love it. A birthday party was interrupted by police as Chuck E. Cheese got arrested. Officers arrested an employee dressed as Chuck for credit card fraud during a kid's birthday. My goodness. Now the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese has responded by throwing the officers who made the arrest a pizza party. How about that? The CEO posted on social media saying he met up with the City of Tallahassee Police Department at the restaurant where it happened. He thanked the officers and reassured the community Chuck E. Cheese is a safe place to be a kid. Officers got to invite their families for a day of play, pizza, and appearance by Chuck E. Cheese, the real one. Not that fraud who got arrested dressed in that Chuck E. Cheese suit.
It's all strange. Even the party for the, I mean,
Really?
I don't know.
I had my birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese when I was 10.
Right. My husband and I were just saying, we are so glad we're past that stage.
Really?
Yes. Because Chuck E. Cheese was, very overstimulating.
Yummy
But
pizza,
it was
though.
fun. It was fun. It's a fun time. We're glad to have moved on from
The
all
ball
of that.
pit. Come on, Christine.
Oh, yeah. There are no germs in that ball pit at all, I'm sure.
Not at all.
Smokey the Bear gets his revenge from a sign-stealing thief. A brave motorist drives through a flooded tunnel, and a drone saves a dog. Fox 5 anchor Courtney Bryant joins us now with stories across America today. Courtney.
Hey, Christine, we will start in Florida, where a tree caught fire at Universal's Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando. Take a look. A park visitor says he was waiting in line for the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride when he suddenly heard a huge boom. About a minute later, fire alarms went off and guests were told to leave the building. Officials say lightning struck the tree, but it's unclear what caused the fire. No injuries were reported. A man in Florida busted for stealing Smokey Bear signs. Police say he swiped the boards from state parks and was selling them on Facebook Marketplace for $1,900. And get this, Smokey himself showed up for the arrest. The man now faces criminal charges and serious jail time. Scary moments for one woman. Video shows her driving through extremely flooded roads and without any way to turn around was forced into the tunnel near the Delta terminal in Michigan. Her friend in the passenger seat caught it all on camera. The driver told Fox they made it out, but it was not the only frustration. Some passengers were left sitting on the tarmac for hours. High-tech problem solving saves the day in Indiana. A dog that got stuck on a river sandbar is now safe thanks to firefighters. They used a drone to guide the stranded pup to safety. Drone footage shows the curious dog watching the device before making its way to the riverbank. The department later shared on Facebook that the dog reached the shore unharmed. So good to see he's okay. He's a little trooper.
Yeah. And we were just at Universal Islands of Adventure.
Oh, wow.
And walked through that same area.
Wow.
In Florida. But you know, Florida, the skies will just open up at any moment.
Yeah. It's even more so than here, I feel. I don't know if that's like proven with the science of people that know those things, but yeah.
See the lightning strike
That's
and
crazy.
what happened. Wow. All right, Courtney, thanks so much. We'll be back after this.
If you have an Amazon Alexa-enabled device in your home, ask her to enable the Fox 5 Atlanta skill so you can get local updates anytime straight from Fox 5.